Probably the key milestones are going through the years that we've worked, taking it from me, establishing it as a one-man band, to becoming a business with offices in Winchester and now Southampton and London. In terms of key milestones, that's going to be repeat business with clients, getting to certain fee levels within the organisation, building the team, and fundamentally having now a huge breadth of offering in terms of the products and suite of services that we can bring to the market. I think you've got a range of recruitment businesses that you can work with, and you'll have those that are generalists and then you'll have those which are specialists. So as HR heads, we firmly sit in that niche specialist providers, and we do operate at a certain level, and that's a qualified and experienced HR professional in the broadest sense of the discipline that we would specialise in recruiting. So the benefits to those that choose to partner with us are fundamentally having the expertise to have a network that is passive, not just active. And what I mean by that is an active audience will respond to an advert. They are actively job seeking, but most of the talent we actually place into a business is that which isn't actively looking. They're too busy, they're in a current role, and fundamentally it takes us to know them, to know what kind of opportunity would be really attractive for them to fundamentally engage with us and allow us to show them that there are those opportunities out there that they might want to consider. Within the business, we are quite a small team, but we're very niche in the way that we operate. So we fundamentally have myself and Rosie Jenkins, and we specialise in doing that senior level recruitment, predominantly on a permanent basis and predominantly across the UK, although both of us have operated with organisations who have sites in Europe and internationally, and the US. So this year alone, we've done 3 roles, for example, based in the US. We are then supported by an associate level, and those individuals support us with our candidate management side of things. They ensure our communications are consistent and key, and that we remain up to date with that passive network to be able to continually offer the best talent to the market. The whole of the Heads Resourcing Group business follows a 5-practice model fundamentally. So we will recruit inch wide, mile deep within those practices, and predominantly they are the consumer sector. So anything you and I buy as consumers. We have the industrial sector, so think manufacturing, engineering, build, construction, that kind of sector and industry specialism. We then have professional and financial services, incorporating the financial sector, but also legal and management consultancies. And we have pharma and life sciences, so everything in that R&D space that you might consider. And then not least at all, the public sector and all of its breadth there across education and universities through to local government, central government and housing. The future of HR is always unknown, you know, there's no crystal ball, but what I will say is people remain at the heart of organisations, and over the last 3 years we've seen the way we have to engage with those people change considerably, and that is not going away. So one of the biggest challenges that HR professionals are talking about consistently is how to maintain engagement with a remote or hybrid workforce. How do you build that sense of culture? How do you drive the engagement? And how do you get people participating and having that real sense of belonging? I think that's a challenge that won't go away anytime soon. In terms of the trends we'll see within HR, it comes from that. So the roles we're going to see being in more demand will be things like L&D, as people look to really invest in their people and human resource. And you know, how do we get more out of less? How do we enable and facilitate people being the best they can be wherever they're working? So L&D is not going away. Equally, I think we're going to see reward. And reward per se is broadening. So we talk about reward and people think of compensation and benefits, but we're equally seeing reward now encompassing well-being, engagement, ED&I. Some of these will be separate, some of them will be grouped within reward as a bigger picture. So actually getting people really valued, harnessing your value proposition to make sure you're an employer of choice, These are the things which I think for the next 12, 18, 24 months, the HR department has to be exceptional at. Well, the one thing I would say is please don't be afraid to pick up the phone. We are not just about hiring someone for your job. We're about giving advice without obligation. So for me, that trusted advisor role, that ability to just discuss is something I'm always open to. There are a number of ways of getting hold of us. Our switchboard is 01962 432 001. Pick it up, it'll come straight through to me. Equally, you can send us an email on our speak to us at hrheads.co.uk. You can find me on LinkedIn and drop me a message there, and I'll be as responsive as I possibly can to coming back to you and just engaging in whatever the question might be without any obligation whatsoever.